want to be able to see her, this is where she's going to be. How's that? All right, great. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome everyone to Buffalo Art Studios. If you'd like to meet us here in the Joanna Angie Gallery, we're going to have our brief artist introduction. And I'm waiting for the C's to part so we can welcome Phyllis Thompson, our artist. Here comes Phyllis. So thank you all for being here this evening. Can we have the music turned off? I think that's what I'm still hearing. So for those 4 of you that don't know who I am, my name is Shirley Verico. I am the Director of Visual Arts and Curator here at Buffalo Art Studios. Thank you all so much for coming out. You know, after the blizzards of last week, I think we can all handle 40 and drippy. It seems pretty good. So thank you. For those of you that are unfamiliar, Buffalo Art Studio is a not-for-profit art center. We're 20,000 square feet, so we actually started out in the hallway with our ceramics wing. We have an education program, and then our exhibition program, which you can see here. And then what really makes Buffalo Art Studio special is that we support working artists. We have 30 studios here where artists can make their work, and Phyllis is part of that community. So this is one of those wonderful opportunities where we can present an exhibition that is powerful and important, and also really revel in honoring one of our own, one of our community here. So this is an exhibition that was made possible through a lot of generous support. This is part of our M&T Bank's 4th Friday series, and they have been very good to Buffalo Art Studio for a number of years, and they allow us to have these special events and stay open on the 4th Friday of every month. Our exhibitions program is also supported by the New York State Council on the Arts. We also receive funding from Erie County, and also from the James and Cameron Baird Foundation. And then we have some exciting news for those that may not have heard. Buffalo Art Studio also was recently awarded a Warhol grant. And that's really exciting for us. And that is the kind of funding that lets us do some of that extra artist support that is really difficult to fund. So it means things like maybe talking to an artist about where to show next, or how to organize your flat files, or how to manage your legacy. All of these things, how to apply for a grant that isn't going to come through us. On a similar note, we do also want to thank the New York State Council on the Arts. Phyllis was a recipient of a Support for Artists grants, and there are a number of faces I see here in the audience today who were recipients of that funding. And our ability to support artists for activities like that, that's the kind of thing that Warhol is supporting. So now that we've thanked people, I want to thank all of you. This opportunity to exhibit Phyllis's work, I began talking to Phyllis about this about 18 months ago. And Phyllis, as I often say, is very humble. And I remember she said to me, oh, you know, I'm not good at tooting my own horn. I said, don't worry, I'll lead the marching band. And as a curator, I have had the deep and wonderful, wonderful pleasure of digging into the flat files and finding things. And what became apparent to me, I knew intellectually that Phyllis was a very thoughtful artist, and that her work was so relevant to issues that we're still thinking about today. But it was exciting to see, quite literally, these aesthetic threads that move through her body of work. And that was the goal with this exhibition, was to show that. So we are so excited. As I say often here at Buffalo Art Studio, we're a community of artists, artists for the community. We do these artist introductions. Phyllis, who is shy, will speak for a little while. But what is really powerful here are the conversations. And I invite you all to have conversations with Phyllis, to have conversations with each other. If you have questions, feel free to ask us. But really enjoy this work as a community. And I think that honoring elders in our community, people with such vision as Phyllis, it is a great joy and a great honor and a great privilege for me. And so on that note, I'm gonna hand you the mic, and you're gonna probably have to keep it a little closer than I do because you're quiet and I'm not. So thank you, Phyllis.
And I do thank all of you for coming out. Wow, this is fabulous. And I do want to make a few points, so I have my little notes here. But one, when I work with Shirley hanging the show, I was so aware of memory in the sense of recall, because I was looking at these pieces, some of which had been around for what, 40, 50 years, whatever, in various situations as I moved around the country. And yet there they were out on a table or in my studio, and I was able to look at them and actually recall some aspects of my life. You know, I was doing this at a certain time, or maybe I was pregnant at another time, or I was teaching at a particular school. And it just reinforced the power of memory and recall, and also how memory can change and alter, because you don't take in everything at one time. Everything doesn't come up and out at one time. So I can revisit some of the same pieces and recall different aspects of my life, you might say. Different experiences emerge, and I like the idea of reliving those experiences. Processes is another area that I thought I'd jot down and just share with you some of what I think about art-making processes in terms of their longevity, the way that they work with you. For instance, drawing can alter and change, or one's drawings can alter and change. One's marks, you might say, can take on so many different forms. And that's what's happened too over the years, and I include even stamping, and it could even include something like moving, walking in sand or in dirt, or just dealing with surfaces, which I for the most part, except for the piece here, I'm really involved with working with materials and interacting with two-dimensional surfaces for the most part. And so that interaction with materials has been really significant, the oil pastel, or I was just corrected, crepage, it should be oil pastel and not crepage. Crepage is what the brand name. But even using the sewing machine, the hand sewing, all of that work with materials and the sewing machine is a machine activated me, you might say, and was something that I could build on over the years using those same processes over and over again. And I could start to redirect the materials and sort of make them do what I wanted them to do, as well as accept what they said. This is what's going to happen. This is what is. And either accept it or not, get rid of it, but continue to go and move on. As far as women's work is concerned, and I'm making a reference to women's work, not in an exclusive sense at all, but work, and I'm going to sit down, but work that has often been relegated to women, and I see Joseph over there, who maybe can attest to that and breaking out of that, but the sewing and weaving and quilting And using one's hands, especially early on, which is what my mother and grandmother did, really inspired me. Working with needle and thread, my mother taught me how to crochet, and my daughter said, well, Mom, you never taught me how to crochet. It was so any of that. And I said, oh, I'm sorry, I was in grad school at the time. But I just cherish the experience, that interaction of elders passing on to me something when I was a child in part too, that I was able to pick up on and use even professionally in my work. And then also printmaking, which I was attracted to really early in undergrad school. And it's just been, you might say, with me as a process that I could use in this way or that way or the other. And the monotypes, for example, the one-of-a-kind prints, that is, happened recently, maybe 10 years ago. And my concentration in printmaking initially was, well, let you know how old I am, in the 60s, in 1960s, so in Philadelphia, the Philadelphia College of Art. But anyway, one again can grow and expand, and in the work with some of the same kinds of materials and processes. And then finally, ancestors. Know who and what you come from if you can. Ask questions of family members. Why where you are now, but perhaps where you were 10 years ago, where great-grandma was 50 years ago. Those kinds of questions were really important to me, and I did address my mother and other family members who reside in Maryland. The family members here are, and when I say family, it's a part of a large community, a farm community, and I did ask questions of who was available, which weren't these people for the most part. They were already transitioned, but asking questions and then writing down what they say can be important. I belong to a genealogy group, and there are some of my genealogy members here, and we do that. That documenting can be important for you and to pass on to your children, that family history. And photographs, ask about photographs. Ask your family members about the photographs that are around. And then if you see them, you want to preserve the originals and photograph the originals rather, and then use the copies, but encourage some conversation. When possible, put something on the back, a year or something, because later on, like 50 years from now, as been the case with me, it's like, who is this person? The writing's fading and so on. And then, thank you. Thank you again, Shirley, Verica, Alma, Rio, Lauren, McLaughlin, and Sydney Oshai, and Lucy, and Lucy's here. And I'm sure there are others that are in and out, and interns, and then all my sister and brother artists who are here and are part of the studio that are encouraging and just being present. And I thank all of you, and the support is, wow, that all of you have come out. And so certainly enjoy, I'm here, and if you have some questions, you can certainly, or comments, certainly I welcome all of that. Okay, so thank you.
Thank you all. This has been an honor, as virtually every exhibition is. So thank you for coming and being a part of our community. I do have to do a little bit of a shameless plug, because of course we're a not-for-profit. And we did. I did say thank you to that you received the New York State Council for the Arts grant through ASI. We have somebody with flowers. Never a bad thing. Never a bad thing. And I do want to, we have a lot of amazing artists that are here this evening who are generously donating to the Buffalo Art Studio fundraiser, Live on 5. It is an auction of 5-inch by 5-inch artworks. I think this year we're going to have about 800. We're inviting a lot of emerging artists, expanding our community. If you want to hear more about that event, it's on our website. We have tickets already for sale. It's only $20 for a ticket. You get to come in, be a part of our community, enjoy all of these brilliant people, and maybe go home with an artwork. Bidding starts at $25, so there really is something for everyone. So again, thank you all for coming out. Whoop. Oh, I'm sorry, April 13th is the fundraising event. Thank you. A lot of, yay, yay. And the tickets are on sale, so there you go. And the auction is mobile, so even if you're not in town that weekend, the auction is mobile, so you can still participate. So thank you all, as always. We love having this amazing community, and enjoy this beautiful evening. Thank you.